Good morning and welcome. It's Corporate Governance Platform brought to you by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN. I am Funmi Omoburio. Let me quickly remind you that ICSAN is the leading recognized professional body in Nigeria that's dedicated to enhancing the status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. ICSAN is the only professional body authorized in Nigeria to conduct examinations leading to the qualification of chartered secretaries and administrators. Today on the program, we want to look at the chairman's responsibilities as the leader of the board. The chairman's responsibilities as the leader of the board. And our guest this morning is Mr. ADEBOLA BABATUNDE, FCIS. He's current Vice Chairman, Lagos State Chapter. He's also member, Publicity and Advocacy Committee, ICSAN. He's Managing Associate, Great Chapel Legal. Good morning, Mr. BABATUNDE.
Good morning, Ma.
All right, thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
You're welcome.
All right, also with me in the studio is Mr. Kayode Ketefe, FCIS, Head of Research, ICSAN. Good morning, Mr. Ketefe.
Good morning, Funmi. Good morning to you, our guest, Mr. ADEBOLA BABATUNDE, FCIS, and all our teaming listeners. Good morning to you.
All right, we're going to take this message and we'll be right back.
The world is constantly evolving into a knowledge-based economy where skills and competencies constitute the lifeblood of public and corporate governance. You therefore need to empower yourself to fit into this new world by gaining basic knowledge and improving your skill set in the governance-focused disciplines. That is why every aspiring as well as practicing professional in governance field needs ICSAN.
ICSAN. What is ICSAN?
ICSAN is a leading statutorily established professional body dedicated to enhancing the status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. ICSAN members are trained as chartered secretaries and administrators.
Who are chartered secretaries and administrators?
Chartered secretaries are high-ranking governance professionals with a broad base of skills, unique amongst other professions. They are trained in law, finance, accounting, administration, strategy development, and corporate governance. In today's world, chartered secretaries and administrators discharge a wide range of duties and responsibilities, including functioning as chairmen of companies, executive directors, non-executive directors, company secretaries, risk managers, compliance managers, board evaluators, and corporate governance evaluators.
That is interesting. How then do I become a chartered secretary and administrator?
Good. Go to the Institute's website, www.icsan.org. You can also visit the National Secretariat of ICSAN at Plot 6, Elephant Cement Way, Alausa, Ikeja, Lagos, to get full information on how to become members. ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.
All right, ICSAN, definitely the hub of governance professionals. As I said earlier, we're looking at the chairman's responsibilities as the leader of the board. All right, Mr. Babatunde, let's start this way. Let's look at the basic roles of the chairman of a board of directors. What are his basic roles?
Yes, let me preface that by saying that the board of directors are empowered by the Companies and Allied Matters Act as the overall governing body of the company. So in that vein, the chairman is the person vested with the leadership role of the board. So the chairman provides strategic leadership roles for the board and the company. The chairman is someone who presides over the meeting of both the board and the company, and he ensures that the meeting are conducted properly.
Okay, and let's look at the ways that this role is different from those of the managing director.
Yes, the managing director is the one involved in the day-to-day management of the company, while the chairman only provides strategic leadership and guidance for the company and the board. So, in a way, the law and the corporate philosophy seeks to establish a separation of power and functions in the two offices so that there will be objectivity and independence of judgment to be exercised by both the chairman and the managing director.
Great. Now, why does the code recommend that the role of the chairman and that of the managing director should be separated? What are some of the basic things the code recommended?
Yes, it's to avoid concentration of power in a single person. You know, when power is concentrated in a person, there can be risk of violation and corruption. So to avoid that, the code provides that the roles should be separated, and by that it will also avoid the risk of conflict between the two parties involved.
And what are the likely consequences if a board is headed by an incompetent or overbearing chairman?
In the case of incompetence, you know, the board will not be properly managed. There will be inefficiencies, there will be errors in the management of the company and the governance of the board. So, but on the part of overbearing, an overbearing person will be someone who likes his voice to be heard and wants his own view to dominate that of the other members of the board. So where that happens, there's a risk of group thinking on the board, such that there won't be diversity of opinions and views, and thereby providing rich advice to the company in the implementation of their strategy and achievement of their goals.
All right. And there's a provision of the code that the chairman of the board should be a NED and not be involved in the day-to-day operations of the company. Let's look at why this prescription is ideal.
The NED are non-executive directors. The non-executive directors, they provide knowledge, expertise, and independent judgment on issues of strategic performance of the board. So the chairman will be able to better perform that role if he or she fits into that description, being a non-executive director. The executive directors are those involved in the day-to-day running of the company, including the chairman and other directors, maybe the chief finance officer.
Okay. Now, what are the attributes a good chairman needs to possess to succeed in his job? I want you to highlight these attributes.
Yes, he must have a clear sense of direction. You know, he must know the goals that the company wants to achieve and have a strategy mapped out on how to get to that goal. He must have a strong leadership skill, and he must be a good communicator and also have a good listening skills, because he must be able to listen well to actually understand the context and the subtext of whatever the board members are saying or telling him. He must be knowledgeable, he must be competent, and be committed to good corporate governance principles, and have relevant industry experience.
Now, what are the roles of the chairman in relation to the board meetings and the general meetings?
Yes, the chairman first will have to liaise with the company secretary to formulate the agenda of the meeting. Then the chairman is also the one that will preside over the meeting, both the board meeting and the company's general meeting. And he will also ensure that the meetings are conducted properly. Those are the things he must do. And at the end of the meeting, he will be the one to present the decisions of the board and the strategic approach that the board is taking to the stakeholders, including the company.
Great. What will be your advice to corporate entities on the issues of roles and responsibilities of chairman?
I would say they should appoint competent persons, and by that I mean people who are knowledgeable, people who have expertise and have experience. And they should also ensure that there's a clarity of separation in the roles and functions of the chairman and the managing director. This can be better achieved where the board has its charter, and in that charter the roles and functions of all the members of the board and the committees will have been outlined. Lastly, the company should establish governance structures that will aid and support the chairman in the performance of his duties.
All right, we're going to take this message and we'll be right back. Just stay with us.
The world is constantly evolving into a knowledge-based economy where skills and competencies constitute the lifeblood of public and corporate governance. You therefore need to empower yourself to fit into this new world by gaining basic knowledge and improving your skill set in the governance-focused disciplines. That is why every aspiring as well as practicing professional in governance field needs ICSAN.
ICSAN. What is ICSAN?
ICSAN is a leading statutorily established professional body dedicated to enhancing the status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. ICSAN members are trained as chartered secretaries and administrators.
Who are chartered secretaries and administrators?
Chartered secretaries are high-ranking governance professionals with a broad base of skills, unique amongst other professions. They are trained in law, finance, accounting, administration, strategy development, and corporate governance. In today's world, chartered secretaries and administrators discharge a wide range of duties and responsibilities, including functioning as chairmen of companies, executive directors, non-executive directors, company secretaries, risk managers, compliance managers, board evaluators, and corporate governance evaluators.
That is interesting. How then do I become a chartered secretary and administrator?
Good. Go to the Institute's website, www.icsan.org. You can also visit the National Secretariat of ICSAN at Plot 6, Elephant Cement Way, Alausa, Ikeja, Lagos, to get full information on how to become members. ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.
All right, Mr. Ketefe, let's take some announcements.
Thank you very much for me. The announcement that we have for our listeners today is on the ICSAN's forthcoming advocacy program that we call The Conversation. This is to announce to our teaming audience that a special program of the Institute known as The Conversation is scheduled to hold on Thursday, April 25th, 2024. This event will be held by virtual method, which allows people to take part from anywhere they are in any part of the globe. The time is 11 a.m. prompt. The Conversation. What is The Conversation? The Conversation is a new advocacy program of the Institute which centers around governance and contemporary national issues, and the aim is to enlighten, educate, and share knowledge with our stakeholders and members of the public generally. The theme of this year's edition of The Conversation is leveraging technology for budget management, oversight, and enhanced corporate governance. The theme, once again, is leveraging technology for budget management, oversight, and enhanced corporate governance. The chief host for this event is no other person than the president and chairman of the Governing Council of ICSAN, Mrs. Funmi Ekundayo, FCIS, while the host is the chairman of the Publicity and Advocacy Committee of the Institute, Mrs. Nkechi Oyenso, FCIS. The guest speakers are the founder and chief consultant of B. Adedipe Associates Limited, BAA Consult, Dr. Abiodun Adedipe, and the second speaker is the executive director, Technical Skill Future Professionals, Mr. Bolaji Osho, ACIS. Participation for this program is free, but we encourage potential participants to register ahead of the program. The link to register is on the ICSAN's website and all the Institute's social media platforms. This program also attracts 1 credit point for ICSAN members. For more information on the ICSAN 2024 special program tagged The Conversation, please call Julie on 080-3489-366. For more information on the ICSAN 2024 program, the conversation, please call Julie on 080-3468-9366. Thank you for listening and have a pleasant day.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Kadi Ketefe, FCIS, Head of Research, ICSAN. In like manner, we thank Mr. ADEBOLA Babatunde, FCIS, Member Publicity and Advocacy Committee, ICSAN. He's also current Vice Chairman, Lagos State Chapter. He's Managing Associate, Great Chapel Legal. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning. And that's how we wrap it up on Corporate Governance Platform, brought to you by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN. We'll be back again next week on Wednesday, 10:15 a.m. right here on the 89.7 FM. I'm Funmi Omoburio. Enjoy the rest of the day.